KakuseiHantā OmegaHōn with 百獣戦隊ガオレンジャー25周年記念スペシャル。
Resuming the story at the reigning quarry after the mission giver gather the Akuzu souls to become Akuzu organ leaves to the Gaoranger's world, setting his plan into action. Hard as Kakeru is mourning for the death of Mei-Aku, who sacrificed itself to protect the Kakuzu hunters and the Gaorangers from the Org's giant blast. This grief and now stranded in OmegaHorn's world causes prey as Gaku clenching his fist to punch Ibar for ruining the 6 Gao warriors' hopes of restoring the power animals, Tetamu, and the floating turtle island animarium from the dark virus the Org has caused, prompting Ibar to punch back at him with Zetsu Enkaku. Berzer and Genu's help is a way to never hit the leader of the Ibar alliance, although Gaku gets help from Enkaku, while sharp as Kai also gets upset to attack Gariko. The twin hunters Ire and Al, Fred as Sotaro and I as Sei tried to stop their friends and the hunters from getting into a violent altercation, while Raiji attacks Lone as Sukumaro in a violent brawl because that's what the latter gets for demanding Raiji again and again to change his heart and returning to justice if leaving the corrupted regime, angrily yelling at the Silver Wolf that the Ibar Alliance is the only home for him to save mankind. Seeing all of these fights, Shout uses his Omega Horn to scream at them to stop fighting, however gets violently attacked by Ibar, who screams at him for ruining the Alliance's chance to, despite taking down all of the Akuzu, punish the one responsible for the unsealing of those dark horn beasts, which is the Akuzu Org, who now is gone from this world, prompting a raging Shout to kick back Ibar, explaining they didn't know that this was just a set-up planned by the monster himself. Having enough of all this intense drama violence, Hart gets up to release out an angry lion roar at his friends, the hunters, and the flame beasts, echoing around the quarry as they finally stop fighting each other, all staring at Hart, who yells this isn't the time for arguments and break up relationships, revealing they can't just let Akuzu Org to rule Animarium and use the team's power animal friends to destroy their own home, the Gaoranger's world. He continues that they should continue putting their differences aside to stop the final Baron Org from wiping out that home, never give up until the very end, since the Gaorangers did that 25 years ago, and whenever someone, especially the power animals, cry out for anyone to rescue them in their homes, the Gaorangers will respond to get rid of evil spirits that want to cause harm on Mother Earth a lot of times. In the end of his speech, reveals he can hear a bit of Gao Lion and Tetamu's voice despite being infected into darkness, revealing that the priestess, his longtime animal partner, and 100 power animals are calling out to him and the Gaorangers to free them from this continuous virus spread. All of this makes the Gaorangers agree on their fearless pride leader, apologizing to the Kakuzu hunters and the flame beasts for this kind of violence, who also apologize as well as each other, as Ibar says he and his alliance will continue to do things their own way again once this true punishment is over. Raiji sighs and apologizes to Lone about his behavior, while still not smiling, deciding to join the Gaorangers and the good hunters on saving the former team's own home as a means of bringing true justice to that universe, much to the ancient Gao warriors' respect. Hart then apologizes to Shout and Enkaku for the things he did back at the jungle yesterday, which Shout replies to not say that now that he and the Gaorangers return to being their own selves again instead of becoming Akuzu hunters now that those dark horn beasts are finally gone, although Enkaku corrects that the Org monster has those beast souls as part of his plan, but still, why would that Org be interested in the Akuzu? This question gives Shout his own question. How will they get to the Gaoranger's world since Akuzu Org, originally as the mission giver, has that kind of teleportation ability? This wonders everyone, as Berzer reveals the Omega Horn fighter Zetsu isn't built to travel through various worlds. Sukumaro asks Raiji, after getting informed from the wind about the latter, if he can use his special ability to upgrade the fighter that can transcend and travel to various worlds. However, Raiji refuses due to reasons he doesn't want to talk about, making everyone continue to wonder how will they get to the Gaoranger's world now. Just then, they see a giant carrier truck approaching them from the sky, revealed by the Gaorangers to be the champion carrier from the Bakuage Sentai Boonboomger, driven by Taya Hando, Boon Red, along with his racing partner Bundorio Bunderas, Boon Boom, who came to take the Gaorangers back home to their world after giving updates to Champion Carrier the ability to transcend dimensions after finding out that their island base is covered in darkness. This makes the Gaorangers happy to thank their juniors for this pickup help as they enter inside along with the Kakuzu hunters and the 2 Enkaku. However, Raiji ditches them to head back to the Ibar Alliance's base on his own, much to most of the Ibar Alliance's disappointment and agreement. However, in a comical moment, there is no room to fit into the driver cockpit, so Ibar and Zetsu Enkaku would have to stay behind while the 6 hunters and Enkaku travel along to the Gaoranger's world, making Ibar ticked off by this that he will never bring a violent punishment on Akuzu Org. After the carrier travels back to the Gaoranger's world, Ibar gets comforted by Zetsu Enkaku before the two walk off to reunite with Raiji at the fighter, by planning a surprise scheme once Shout and his friends come back. After Taya and Boom Boom interact with Shout and Enkaku, the giant truck reaches the Gaoranger's world, which is revealed to be the main Super Sentai world where that team and the Boomboomgers lived, as they now approach Animarium covered in thick dark clouds as a result of the virus the Baron Org has spread before the mission. After the champion carrier managed to go through the clouds and landed on the ground, the Kakuzyu hunters and the Gaorangers exit the vehicle for the two drivers to head back to Japan to protect it from harm's way as a result of Akuzu Org's plan, who continues to rule Animarium with the infected Tetamu by his side. This part ends with the hunters and Gaorangers seeing Animarium and its power animals covered in darkness, as the final battle is about to begin.